puncture, we're going to throw them in the farmyard and we get going again.
The Alekto Irish Hillclimb and Sprint Championship were happy to be back in Newbawn with the Wexford Motor Club for the second and third rounds run of the 2023 series. After winning the opening round on Ballyalbin in an OMS sports car, multiple Hillclimb and Sprint champion Robert Dwan was back in his OMS 25 single-seater and put in a dominant performance. 1/100th of a second off breaking the 60-second barrier on run 2, he shattered it on the third attempt on run 4, Saturday afternoon. Russell Stanworth was keeping him honest as the strongest single-seater opposition over the weekend in his Opel Lotus with a lower spec engine than he's had in the past. He got down to a 104.62 on that fourth run. A great initiative at this event was members of the Wexford Motor Club's Youth Academy were partnered up to individual drivers to profile them and get some hands-on experience of the cars, helping out in the paddock. I had a chat with Rob on Saturday evening and he told us a bit about it.
Yeah, it's great. We've gang from the Wexford Youth Academy here, and it's great to see them at an event, and it's just great to have the help. You know, it's great to see so much interest from the young lads who I suppose this will be probably their first hill climb event they've ever been to, and yeah, it's just fantastic to see the next generation coming along and an interest in hill climbing, I suppose, that they mightn't have seen before.
You started as early as you could yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, that was always the ambition. Yeah, we started at 16. Yeah.
I asked him where he thought he'd found the best part of 2 seconds on his final run of the day.
And just a nice smooth run. It was nice smooth off the line and just tidied up from what we did in the morning. Just committed to the faster bits a bit quicker. And that was it, really.
The youngster in the black t-shirt is actually Robert's dad, Ger, who has plenty of experience of all aspects of hill climbing.
It's a fantastic hill. Like once you get through the second corner there, just all the way to the finish line, you're just on the gas for so long in sixth gear. It's just high speed stuff. It's real nice, and no chicanery or anything interfering with a nice piece of road, which is good to see.
Dwan started day 2 much as he'd completed day 1 with a 58-second run and whittled down his times over a further 2 goes to a 57.35. Russell Stanworth was also progressing, getting down to a 103.91. He was very happy getting 4 runs each day, despite several driver and car-related delays to the event.
Yeah, good day, good event. The club did well. Yeah, to get it, we got 4 runs both days, and it's a great hill. Apart from the second square left, which is a bit bumpy, and I put a new floor on and I broke it.
Wow. Yeah, it must really suffer because I think there's camber and everything going down into that. And the bumps.
There is, everything's wrong. It's an adverse camber and it's got real bad bumps where you're braking. You know, because it's easy to lock up a wheel and you end up either straight on or in the ditch. Unfortunately, I stayed out of it.
But after that, after the S's, it must be an amazing thrill to drive a car like this.
It's, yeah, the top section is flat. You're on the rev limiter, 4th gear. And it's S's that you can't see around, and you just got to be brave and keep it in.
You had a bit of an engine misfortune at the end of last season. Did you get all sorted?
No, this is a different engine. It's a little engine compared to the other one. I'm sort of 40 horsepower down on last season's engine. I've still a few parts to pick up to get last year's engine back together. But, this goes well enough.
It's reliable.
Yeah, it's been very reliable. No smoke, as everybody was used to off my old engine.
And this car should feel very natural now in Mondello in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've been there a good few times to do the sprint, and yeah, I always enjoy it. It's good to get a race car on the circuit, and yeah, looking forward to it.
As are we. And we're hoping for a strong influx of single-seaters on the racetrack venue of Mondello, which the MEC club are running. Russell had to look over his shoulder a bit because there was a savage saloon battle taking place just behind him. Christopher Snow opened the running in his Rally Class 9B Honda Civic, just ahead of James Bradley in a Ford Fiesta in the same class. They were both in the 109s, with Brian Kerwin 5th with the rear-wheel drive 205 on a 110. Richard Cleary, driving with great style in the Ford Escort Mark II, was on a 111 in 6th, joined by Shane Bell on the same second with the Subaru Impreza 7th. Willie Barrett, testing a new aero package, was 8th in the Honda Civic. Ninth was Danny Callan in the Speed Car GTR, leading Class 3C. 10th at this point in another Honda Civic was Tom White, looking very committed. Brian Kerwin moved himself into the lead of the saloons and 3rd overall with a 107 on run 2 and maintained it with a 106 on 3. By then Barrett, Snow, Bell, Callan and Cleary, joined by Barry Murphy in a Mitsubishi Evo 10, were all on 107s. Willie Barrett, loving the changes to his car, did a quicker 106 than Kerwin's run 3 time on run 4, but Brian had made it certain with a 105.95 to take 3rd overall for the day. Willie Barrett was 4th overall, just ahead of Christopher Snow, who got down to a 106.99. He would be 7th on Sunday. 600th behind him Saturday was Shane Bell in 6th, the position he would also hold both days. Less than half a second behind the Subaru on the first day, Danny Callan climbed to 7th. Putting the speed car in a 4-wheel drive sandwich was Barry Murphy with the Evo 10. Richard Cleary completed day 1 just 1/100th of a second behind the Mitsubishi. The rear-wheel drive Escort would take its revenge on Sunday, finishing ahead of Bell's WRX by 500ths in 5th place. Shea Delaney took his best result of the weekend on Saturday, completing the top 10 and winning Class 8B. Tom White would win the class Sunday after being 2nd the day before and take 9th overall. Tommaso O'Rourke upgraded his machinery to an Evo over the weekend to make 10th on Sunday and 2nd in Class 10 from Richard Cleary. Dara Fay missed the first day but landed the 1A Suzuki Swift amongst the big cars for a class win and 8th overall on the 2nd. The big battle on Sunday though was between Brian Kerwin and Willie Barrett. Shane Bell had split them on the first run, with Brian maintaining his 105 second times into the second day, setting 2 identical .59s. It looked like he was at a terminal velocity. Then on run 3, Willie did a 105.15, jumping into 3rd overall, while Kerwin lost a 10th. Sitting on the limiter on the final run 4, Brian found 3/10ths on his best. Not enough. Barrett was fastest saloon despite a slightly slower 4th run. I went looking for him after the prize giving for an interview, but couldn't find him. Perhaps he hadn't come down to earth yet, even if his car was fully grounded and the club had done their best to weigh him down with trophies. Kenny O'Brien won Class 1A on Saturday in a Vauxhall Nova and took 3rd on Sunday. 2nd on day 1 was Elaine Kerwin in her Toyota Starlet, putting experience from last year to great effect. Patrick Spain took a 3rd and a 4th over the weekend in a Honda Civic. Jack Byrne was 2nd only to Dara Fay on Sunday, pushing the Ford Ka very hard. Cathal Murphy was fastest on Saturday in a highly competitive weekend for the Cento drivers. Johnny Murray was 2nd by just 0.04 of a second, with Billy White 3rd just 1/4 of a second off the lead himself. He'd go one better on Sunday. Quiva White was shaking off memories of a hard knock in the Seicento here last year, when she injured her back. She bravely completed all 8 runs and took 5th in the class Saturday. Johnny Murray was 3rd the second day, behind Billy White, as Francis Dempsey had dug deep to take his first class win in the Cinquecento after 4 years with the car. 3rd in Class 2 both days was Jimmy Brett in a Honda Civic, but his runs came to an abrupt end on Sunday. Joe Clifford won the class on Saturday in the car he used to share with Willie Barrett. He avoided an interview, but class winner on Sunday, up from second, Thomas Sheedy, spoke up after going one better than the previous day.
Yeah, we were trying hard all day now to beat Joe Clifford, like, and it was a tough job, like, but in the end we got it, like, yeah.
It's a great hill, isn't it?
It's fabulous. It is fabulous, like, yeah.
They had a lot of interruptions, but actually, like, the club was on it the whole time, weren't they?
Yeah, they were doing their best all day. It's fabulous, like. They would make a great job of running, fairness to them, like, yeah.
And did you get all the way up to the top of fifth gear?
Some of the way. Here and there, like, yeah.
It was very impressive watching you coming across some of the crests there now towards the end of the hill.
Why, have you a video of me?
Oh, we've videoed the whole lot.
All right, yeah.
And the live feed went up already.
Oh, all right, yeah. Yeah.
So, but listen, yeah, it's you've good fun with the other civics as well around you, don't you?
Sure, like, it's great. The camaraderie here is fabulous. Like, everyone helps everyone else. Like, it's just, it's lovely, like, you know.
And they're a car that's well developed, so like you kind of know where you're going with them.
Yeah, but I'm starting to get used to it now. This stage, like, it's time for me, like, yeah.
I see, Joe doesn't want to chat at all. I think he's about to pull away.
Come over here. Oh, you're all right, come on.
Peter Bogan was second in Class 3A behind Brian Kerwin in the Mark II Escort, enjoying his local hill. Tommy Gardner was third in the Honda Civic the first day, but caught Bogan for second in the class on day 2. David Byrne was fourth in the class on Sunday in a Peugeot 306 S16. Outside the top 10 in Class 3B, Paul Hamill wrestled the Tiger Avon to fourth in the class both days. Peter McKinley appeared the second day to take second in the Scort. I hope he's not becoming a Sunday driver. Damien Walsh also had commitments on Saturday, but took third in the class on the third round of the championship in the SHP Wildcat. Danny Callan was the sole representative in Class 3C with the Speed Car GTR, as high as 7th overall that first day. Historic Class 4 covers a very broad spectrum of cars. Rory Howley was fastest both days in an Austin Mini. In more vintage, but no less hard-driven vehicles were Ken McAvoy in the Riley TT Sprint, second both days, joined by Nick Bennett in an Alba Silver Eagle on Saturday, and Ed Cassidy in the Iona Special Sunday. Unfortunately, Richard Schneider evaded our cameras with just one run the first day in a Beetle. Sean McNamara is starting to push the boundaries of Class 5 in the Van Diemen, winning the class both days with 15th overall the first day and 13th the second. Enda Byrne in the V found a lot of time over the 2 days, improving steadily from a 1:19.19 on Saturday morning to a 1:12.67 by run 2 Sunday, for 2 second places. Siobhan McCann couldn't escape the 1:15s the first day, but got down to a 1:13.84 on day 2 with 2 third places from the event. Seamus Anderson hasn't got us all down to Mulnavat yet, but he looked quite at home here in the Anglia, taking 2 class wins in 8A. Andy Purser was just over 2 seconds behind him on Saturday, but got the deficit down to under 1.5 on Sunday for 2 second places in the Peugeot 205. Martin O'Dowd's stylish run came to an abrupt end on run 2 on Sunday. He'll have 2 third place trophies as souvenirs though. Hopefully the Sunbeam will see action again. Graham Bradley in a Honda Civic EK4 was third in 8B, behind Shay Delaney, who made the top 10 on the Saturday, and Tom White, who got there Sunday. Bradley dropped to 5th on the second day, while William Billy Nolan improved from 4th to 3rd. 4th on day 2 was Dara Gleeson in the Ford Escort Mark II. Liam O'Neill collected 2 class wins in 9A over the weekend in his Escort. James Bradley in a Fiesta was second behind Christopher Snow in Class 9B on Saturday, holding off John Pettit in the Darien T90. He couldn't hold him on Sunday though, when the GTR got through to second. 4th was Darren O'Connor, both days in the Ford Escort. Declan Gannon took the class win in 10 on Saturday in the 4-wheel drive Turbo Fiesta, and Eamon Murphy claimed the honour in a Mitsubishi Evo 5 on Sunday. It was a great weekend of sport, dampened only by a few showers on Saturday morning. There was a lot of bent and broken metal after the 2 days, testament I suppose to the challenging course. The club did very well to keep things going with all the recovery they had to do.